Hola chicos, hoy hablamos del pretérito, la parte 2. Recuerda, usamos el pretérito con los eventos terminados en el pasado. Los eventos con una empieza y una terminado. También con eventos que pasó solo una vez. So we're going to go through some of the irregulars today. There are 4 specific stem changes that we're going to look at and see how those work in the preterite. So we're going to start with I stem verbs. So these 3 verbs have this I stem, meaning that their normal infinitive form is replaced in the stem with an I. So you see here, hacer becomes is, querer, quis, venir, vin. And then these are the preterite endings in order, singular on the left-hand side, plural on the right-hand side. So I made would be yo hice. She came would be ella vino. We tried would be quisimos. An important thing to note is that querer in the preterite means to try. Normally we use it as to want. And it still means to want if you use it in the imperfect tense, but we're not going to get to that yet. So right now just focus on in the preterite, querer means to try. Also, you'll notice that there are 2 stems for hacer. That is because we use hiz with the la usted form. Only in the la usted form. Why? Well, why do we normally have spelling changes in Spanish? To preserve sound. So here it becomes hizo because we want to keep the s sound that we have in hacer. If we had hico, then it would be pronounced hico because a C and an O next to each other makes for a hard C sound, hico. Therefore, we change it to a Z to keep the sound, hizo. Another thing that I want to point out is that your preterite endings here for irregular verbs are a combo of your AR, ER, and IR endings, and there are no accents. These are important to memorize because they are different from your regular AR, ER, IR endings in the preterite. Un ejemplo, ella hizo las galletas. Here you can see hizo in contexto. Another stem is you stem. So here we have these 4 verbs which change from the either A or O to a U in the preterite tense. So haber becomes ub, poder, pud, poner, pus, saber, sup. Haber is the verb that is used to say I, or there is or there are. So this is really only important to note that in the preterite, I would be ubo. We don't really use the other forms of haber because haber is used to show existence of something. When we say hay irregulares, there are irregulars. If we want to put that in the preterite, then there used to be or there were irregulars, we would say hubo irregulares, but there are no more. There was a specific end to the use of those irregulars. Okay, so back on track here. You'll note that your preterite endings for all stems are the same. So again, we have the combo of AR, ER, IR endings, no accents. Un ejemplo, pudimos subir la montaña. En esta foto con la telecía, pero sobre la montaña para ver, no es para esquiar. Our next stem are the UV stems. Our verbs that take the UV stem are andar, estar, and tener. Andar means either to walk, or you can use it as to ride a bicycle, andar una bicicleta. So, with these stems, for andar and estar, you add the UV after you remove your root. So after you take off the AR, you add the UV. And for tener, you just get rid of all of it except the T and add the UV. So again, same preterite endings. These are the irregular endings. Iste, o, himos, istes, hieron. Un ejemplo. Tuve el cumpleaños el 6 de mayo. And our final stem is the J stem verbs. And these verbs take the J in order to, again, preserve pronunciation. And so decir, traer, y conducir all have the J stem. Decir becomes dich, traer, traj, conducir, conduj. So therefore, if we wanted to add it with the ending, we'd have dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijisteis, dijeron. Important to note here, in the ellos, ellas, ustedes form, for J-stem verbs, the I is removed. It's highlighted here in green, just the E, because the J-I-E is too hard to pronounce. So we just have the J-E-R-O-N. Por ejemplo, ellos trajeron el globo y las flores. And the last three verbs that I want to note are ser, ir, and ver. One really cool thing about the preterite is that ser and ir are the same verb. You don't have to conjugate them differently. So they are completely irregular, but once you learn one, you've learned them both. And they're common verbs, so that's helpful. So ir and ser in the preterite would be fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fuisteis, fueron. Notice there are no accents. Please make sure you do not put accents on these conjugations. And same with ver. Ver is irregular simply because you take off the root and all you have left is the V. And so we throw on the ending, but no accents again. Just like ser and ir, no accents on ver. Vi, viste, vio, vimos, vistes, vieron. Accents are usually needed when you have more than one syllable in a word, and especially with vi and vio, there's only one syllable in each of those words, so we don't need an accent to know where to pronounce the word. The pronunciation is simple, one syllable. Tú fuiste a Italia, es un ejemplo. Y también nosotros vimos la ciudad. En Italia, qué hermosa. Aquí es tu práctica. Buena suerte.